Change. This has recently become the favorite banner under which groups and movements across the globe rally their cause. This is especially true in the case of the Philippines. Long has our country and our government been plagued with challenges of weak institutions, corruption, and poor quality of services. Thus, there has always been a call for greater accountability, transparency, and better public service. Today, the call for change continues to gain stronger grounds because more and more of us realize that people deserve better. We deserve better. Better education, a higher quality of living, a safer and more secured environment for business, for raising a family, for life. And in building this safe and secured environment, our Navy has a big role to play. The Navy is the might in our sea, the eyes in our air, the force in our ground. It is in the Navy, among others, that we look up to for the defense and protection of our seas that bind the 7,107 islands that is our maritime nation. The vastness of our waters and life and riches that abound in it bring forth the big responsibility that the Navy has to fulfill. Yet the Navy has been faced with challenges on its capabilities, and with the ever-present and increasing threats to our maritime nation, the Navy realized it has to do more. Thus, the Navy embarked on this journey towards building a stronger force that we can rely on in the defense and protection of our seas and people.
Even before I was a young officer, even when I was still child, I looked up to the Navy as one of professional organizations of the armed forces.
The Navy, comparatively with other services, I am sure was well advanced compared to the other services. However, if you look deeper into the Navy as it was, though, you should consider that at a certain point in time, we were very much relying on the help of the U.S. government at that time. And then somewhere along early 1990s, when the United States basically more or less left us, we were sort of left to our own devices. And at that point, parang nabigla yung Navy in a sense na we had to row our own boats, so to speak.
We saw the Navy remain the same in terms of equipment. It was really the same old equipment that we had before. I think that is one of the things that we saw needed improvement.
It seems that the Navy is going nowhere. It seems that we have a ship without a rudder. In 2006, we have our flag officer then, Vice Admiral Mayuga.
I came to know about this experience at the Development Bank of the Philippines. And it was a team of Dr. Jesse Stanislao who turned around the bank from one of bankruptcy to one of profitability. I said, maybe we can replicate that experience in the Philippine Navy.
So what we really tried to do was to facilitate the process by which the Navy came out with their own vision for the future, with their own very clear set of values which will be the anchors for the pursuit of that vision. But it is something that had to come from them, because it will be it is the Navy that will build the Philippine Navy.
This was in 2006. We invited roughly about 60 officers of the Philippine Navy, trying to get the best and the brightest among them.
We were gathered to at least discuss the different activities needed to transform the organization, and that brought us to the crafting of our P&SAIL plan.
More than 6 years in this journey, the Navy has achieved significant milestones in realizing its aspirations of the SAIL plan.
So the early days were quite challenging. That's why we are inculcating these values, the stories we are telling to our juniors as part of our mentoring, that we do not want to return to the same state
We have more than halfway to sa 15-year development plan based on sa SAIL plan. We are on track. We have achieved a lot using the SAIL plan. We were able to determine what are the gaps in the competency ng tao, developing new curriculum, new doctrines. Imagine, before we undertook this SAIL plan, our doctrines are dated 1976.
The first unit in the defense organization, which is actually ISO certified, is the Philippine Navy Finance Center. That was the start of it all, and then we had so many units until now being ISO certified.
Dati-dati, bilang isang enlisted personnel, kapag ka ikaw ay mag-file ng re-enlistment, katakot-takot na folders ang gagawin mo. Then, in terms of clearance systems, napakatagal. Ngayon, mayroon na tayong integrated personnel management system on clearances. Parang ito'y isang one-stop shop na isang sundalo pupunta lang sa Office of the Naval Adjutant at iano niya yung pangalan niya, mayroon siya pipindutin sa machine, lalabas na kung siya ay cleared.
If you ask me whose legacy is this, I cannot say, I cannot mention 1 name, 2 names, 10 names, 20 names, no. This SAIL Plan 2020 belongs to all members of Team Navy. They have a stake in this SAIL Plan 2020. We all own this.
In the course of its journey towards transformation, the Navy was able to spark the change in the armed forces and help sustain the transformation in the defense sector.
Since the Navy went ahead with the SAIL plan and was beginning to harvest the low-lying fruits, you could see that they were beginning to move and producing some results. Obviously, the Army took notice.
Even when I was in the Army, we took inspiration from the Navy SAIL plan, their vision for the future, and we thought that the rest of the armed forces should also have a roadmap for the future.
And not only that, beyond the armed forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police through another route. So you have the uniformed services helping one another.
We believe in the Navy vision. We share with the Navy vision. We will help each other and achieve our vision for the future.
No longer is the Navy operating by itself, but the Navy is really reaching out to as many other sectors of the armed forces of the Philippines, of the government, and of Philippine society, taken as a whole.
With these breakthroughs, the Navy has emerged as a strong pillar for peace and national development.
We all know that we are an archipelago. This is an archipelagic country composed of at least 7,100 islands with a shoreline of 36,000 kilometers. The Navy plays a very, very significant role in a sense that the Navy more or less has been quite adept at doing these things. They've had a lot of experience and they have implemented systems already, which is basically what the National Coast Guard system would eventually be doing.
The Navy provides security in the maritime area of my command. So they contribute by deploying their fleet assets, the Navy ships and the surface assets.
General Quarters, all hands, man your battle station.
So these forces of the fleet contribute largely to the maintenance of maritime security in the entire Western Mindanao. We also utilize their air component. This is the Naval Air Group. As well as the Special Operations, which is the Naval Special Operations Group.
I'd like to say that my hats off, my snappy salute to all of the brave men who have given their lives to defend the city. They have so much courage to respond and defend the city. And for that, the city of Zamboanga is greatly thankful to them.
Una po, noong dumating ang mga Marines dito sa Limpapa, mas nagtetensyonan po dito sa Limpapa po. Pero po, nung pagpasok namin po sa paaralan, nakita namin po sila nagwawalis, nagbibigay ng food feeding para sa elementary, nagbibigay ng haircut para sa elementary and high school. Nagbago yung impression ko sa kanila na imbes akala ko para lang sila sa mga bakbakan, kaya nila pa rin gumawa ng iba pa.
During the floods of 2008 to 2010, the Marines were very active in transporting people who were dislocated because of the floods. You see the Marines always on duty. They did not abandon their posts. Instead, they continued to help.
Natatanggal na po yung takot namin kasi nakita namin po yung mga Marines po, mabubuti.
Only a Moro can discipline another Moro. Hindi mo pwedeng puwersahin yung isang Moro, lalaban yan. So, because of that dealings with the Philippine Marines, no, nakita natin na pwede naman palang magkaroon ng respeto. Yun bang simple gestures like in a checkpoint, no? The personnel ng ibang forces na titingnan ng parang, oh, checkpoint to, so ganyan na. But when it comes to Philippine Marines, nandun yung respect. Sir, ma'am, can we check your car? Because of that, yun mga tao dito, nanumbalik yung kumpiyansa, yung tiwala nila sa ating Philippine Marines at sa ating authorities. And nagkaroon kami ng trust that parang yung buhay namin, kaya naming ipagkatiwala sa Philippine Marines.
Sabi ng nanay ko, kung iahintulad man ang Marines sa mga tao para po silang mga magulang, kasi po kaya nila pong ibigay ang kanilang buhay para lang po sa amin.
We need to be able to trust our partners. So that's what I love about the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Marines. They were above board. There are a lot of honorable people in the military, especially in the Philippine Marines and the Navy.
Kung wala pang Marines dito, I think there will be more confusion here.
Noon, pag sinabi mo, wala pang Philippine Marines dito, you check the records. Ang aming kidnappings, for every quarter, we have at least 2 kidnapping. Nung nandito ng Philippine Marines, it has all been solved. So, ngayon, every time na may naririnig kaming balita na ipo-pull out yung Philippine Marines, the entire city talagang nagwawala na. Halos hindi namin makontrol yung mga text messages. Natatakot yung tao. What if alisin ang Philippine Marines sa Cotabato City?
So they make a parang a petition paper that we like the Philippine Marines to come back here in Cotabato City to maintain the peace and order situation.
I was in praise of them because of their work, abandoning their warrior character to become soldiers of mercy.
I cannot find any better professionals. They were professional, they delivered as they committed, and so it was problem-free. They were easy to work with, and so we look forward to working with them again in future projects.
Sana po, wag po kayong mapagod magbigay ng tulong sa amin. Wag niyo po kaming pagsawaan na palaging tingnan kami at bigyan ng seguridad. At sana po, palagi niyo pong panatilihing mapayapa ang ating bansang Pilipinas, hindi lang po para sa inyo o sa inyong karangalan, kundi para din sa karangalan ng lahat po.
For me, yung Philippine Navy as a group, they are heroes for me.
Kailangan namin sila. Kailangan namin kayo.
Together with you, we will be able to win this battle against terrorism and win a lot of challenges that we face for the people under one Zamboanga City, one nation, and one Philippines.
The Navy is probably our premier instrument in promoting our maritime interests and protecting them. And for as long as there is that deep commitment embedded at all levels of the organization to the sail plan, I have no doubts that you will succeed.
I have only one word to describe the situation of the Navy now. No? It's amazing.
What we say in the Navy as a closing statement, that the Navy is an adventure, one that is always exciting, where you are able to go to different places, meet different people, but one that renders honorable service to this maritime nation.
More than being a protector of our territory and national sovereignty, the Navy has become a source of inspiration to a lot of Filipinos. It gives hope to those who dream, courage to those who falter, and strength to those who fight for life. These gains serve as the motivation for the Navy to continue improving its organization, developing its people, and strengthening its capabilities under the SAIL plan. It has set its eye on the next waypoint, the Islands of Good Governance in 2015, where it has pledged to double its capability to secure our maritime environment. And in 2020, it shall realize its vision of a stronger and more credible Navy that our maritime nation can be proud of. But the Navy cannot sail alone. It needs the hearts and the minds of every Filipino people that make up our maritime nation. The Navy is only halfway through, but regardless of the distance, no matter what the challenges are, the Navy shall not tire. It will continue to sail with hearts emboldened by the unwavering support of the land and the people they have sworn to serve and protect.